The body is absolutely fascinating. The more I learn about natural health and what's going on in the human body, the more that I realize that we were not just two bacteria bumping into each other and evolving into what we are. We're going to cover today something that's controversial. American doctors on the whole do not learn this, although there are a few. Matter of fact, someone came to me about a week ago, and when I told them about the crease in the ear, they said, "Oh yeah, my doctor said that indicates there's a weakness on my heart." And indeed it does. I have two examples of ears here, a right ear and a left ear. This one has a crease starting here and going diagonally out. This is the crease that we're talking about. This ear does not have it. These ears belong to the same person. So why the crease on the one side and not on the other side? Well, according to the New England Journal of Medicine in 1973, they did a study that showed that diagonal crease can indicate possible coronary artery disease. Here's a link if you want to look it up. Our hearts have four chambers: the right atrium, the left atrium, the right ventricle, and left ventricle. The blood comes in here, then next pump it goes here, then it goes to the lungs, then it comes back to the left atrium, to the left ventricle, and then throughout the whole body. Whenever you have one of those creases on your right ear, that indicates there's a weakness in the right atrium. Whenever you have that crease on your left ear, it indicates that there is a weakness in the left ventricle. When you have a crease in the right ear, it indicates there's a weakness in the right atrium. The blood comes in the right atrium from the superior and inferior vena cava from all over the body. Comes in from the superior and inferior vena cava from the whole body. It comes into the right atrium. The heart beats, it goes into the right ventricle. The heart beats again and it goes into the lungs. The next beat brings it back after it's gotten oxygen into the right atrium. The next beat goes into the left ventricle, and then the last beat finally through the aorta and the arteries throughout the blood. Through the aorta and arteries, through the aorta and the arteries throughout the whole body. So in this particular person, their left ventricle is weak, while the rest of the heart is relatively fine. We don't know what's going on in the bottom part of the right. We don't know what's going on in the right ventricle or the right atrium by looking at the ears, but we do know what's going on in the right atrium and the left ventricle. The heart can be weakened either physically or emotionally. If you ever had someone break your heart, which is a very common phrase, the heart area actually feels a pain in it, an ache in it. The feelings of lost love, either because you jilted or because someone passed away the feelings of a lost love, either from being jilted or cheated on, or if the person had passed away, leaves a pain, a physical pain in your heart. There is a homeopathic essential flower. There's a homeopathic flower essences called Open Heart that helps rid the chemical that's released during those feelings of being jilted or the loss of the love. The chemicals that reside in the body and settle in the heart. Those chemicals can weaken the heart after a certain length of time. So a lot of times people will, whenever, a lot of times when people are working with their heart, they also work with the emotions that may have contributed to the condition. The nutritional part of the heart would be vitamin E, onions, garlic, parsley, cayenne pepper. That's as a base. But ginkgo and hawthorn is absolutely amazing. My deceased sister-in-law had an enlarged heart, a very enlarged heart. Years after taking ginkgo and hawthorn, she was in a car accident that bruised her chest from the airbag, and they x-rayed her. And my brother said, I don't think that's her x-ray because the heart looks like it's normal size when it was huge before. And they rechecked it. After checking, they verified indeed that was her heart, that although it was enlarged at one time, it had toned back up to original size. I believe it was a ginkgo and hawthorn that allowed that to happen. Cardioassurance is used by many people to strengthen the heart. Since the heart needs magnesium and potassium, I like Mind Max for the magnesium. It's very easily assimilated, and there's several different types of magnesium in it. And potassium, combination potassium. If your heart flutters or you crave chocolate, I suggest the Mind Max. If you get tightness, pain in your chest, if you crave potato chips, I suggest the potassium. The heart is merely a muscle, a very important muscle, but it's a muscle. And protecting it and nourishing it can help us stay strong for your whole life. So check out your ears. Check other people's ears out. You may be helping them with information they did not know that could save their life.